Hello, welcome to another episode of the GNPS, General Engineer. And I'm out here with my next guest. We're coming to you again from a brand new set of a brand new drama series that's going to be on Etv every Monday to Friday at 6:30. Sitting next to me is Bhekisizwe Mahlawe, who plays the part of Kelvin.
Yeah. Ngiyajabula mfethu ukuthi ungihost namhlanje. Kahle ubhekisizwe ngithanda liphelele yabo.
Oh, okay.
Bhekisizwe. Mahlawe ngithi ngabobheka umuzi. Ngibheke the whole.
The whole nation.
Showcase.
For me,
Yeah.
I've seen you in glimpses, I've seen you on Generations, and I've seen you on Stembiso.
Yeah. And the bioscopes.
Yeah. And I looked in bioscopes. So I mean, I guess this is your first major role, so to say.
Yeah. Number one, uqala nje ngqa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, take us back to the times before this, like leading up to this,
Leading up to this.
Who's Bheki? Where is Bheki from?
Yeah.
What has Bheki been through?
Hey, yasinda le.
Njengoba so Kelvin.
Yeah. Okay, Bhekisizwe Mahlawe is an actor. Ngathi I'm an all-rounder. I'm a creative actually. Originally from KZN in the South Coast, Herikwala district, Mzimkhulu. Yeah, and then ngasuka eMzimkhulu I went to Durban because ngeke ngene kuma details kakhulu yabo ngathatha the whole year if ngi-explain lezo zinto. Then from Durban I went to Joburg. Then in Joburg that's where yonke into yenzakala khona yabo. I did even did extras at some point yabo. And then I started getting on my workshops, trainings here and there, and then up until kwavela labo generations okhuluma ngabo no Stembiso. Kodwa it took time for me to even get there because I remember there was a point where ngenza ama extra khona abantu bangibona ekhaya, even though abanye abantu bengangazi around the country, but laba bangazi siyakubona wena TV kodwa manje awukhulumi indaba. Hey, ingidle lempahla ngivele ngibe ngizinikeze lokhuzi time frame ukuthi okay, I'm just doing this for 6 months. And then after that ngiyayiyeka indaba yama ex ngifuna ukukhuluma manje yabo. That's when I started ukuthi ngi-attend ama workshops as njengoba sengimentionile. And then ke aqala ngena ama gigs because ukuthi lento leyifana nebhola yabo, ifana nedisc. You can go to school uyifunde, but if uzo relaxa and not sharpen your craft, you won't make it as an actor. Kumele uhlezi upractice, uhlezi engage nabantu, hear what's happening around you, be aware of your surroundings and stuff yabo. Yeah, so okay, coming to lento isho ukuthi ngize ngifike la ku Durban Gen I bese ngikhathele mfethu.
So how many years are you getting, short roles or you're an extra? How many years did you do that until?
Okay, kwa TV ngingayibali theater because I did a lot of theater really like KZN industrials, and we even did amanyama shows, both stable theater and playhouse. But kwa TV it's been 10 years, bro. This is my 10th year ngizama lento le, so izovela ngonyaka was 10. Yabo.
Would you say it came at the right time or?
Yeah.
Maybe it should have come earlier. I would say.
No. Bengamele ifike early bengizoba nenkinga. I think ifike at a time where I'm ready to face the world. Yabo. Because I've learned izinto eziningi in the industry. Yabo. I've learned to humble myself in everything engiyenzayo. I've learned to keep it low and just know my story. Yabo. Because if lento izovesana ifike, let's say maybe you're just from school and abekho abantu abazokunikeza moral support and baguide and stuff, you just boom, ziningi izinto ezinga-affecta. It's better if unaleyo support system leyo. So mina lokushayeka lokhu ngilithola lama short roles, extras, ngiyafunda mfethu. So that's why manje angikwazi ukubiza umuntu oyi-extra nge-extra because I know how it feels because I was once there yabo. And then okunye nje mfethu kusebenzisana nabantu. I respect umuntu ongaphezulu kwami ngokwe position, like let's say ngokomsebenzi, because ngiyafisa ukuba naye one day. I mean ukuba njenganaye one day yabo. So i-respect baleke kakhulu.
Now I mean, which one do you prefer between theater and television. Let's put the money aside, ne?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's where it's different. Besides the feel of being on stage and being on set.
Yeah. Okay. Ilokhuza ngizothi I prefer ETV for manje, but the most important thing ebalekile as an actor is theater. Why mina ngibalekela theater? Ngiyayithanda but manje ngumuntu oshaye mina. But ngiyazama ukuthi leminyaka lesengenze ngaboost confidence yami and stuff, but for now I prefer TV because la we said mhlambe we have a maximum of abantu abakhona, maybe let's say it's 100. Theater izofika igcwele kanje. So if kuthiwa ngizokwenza theater every day, it's different people, yabo, maintaining the same energy. Mele muphuma laphayana, you interact with everyone olaphayana. Kanti mengiqeda kushoot esethini, I go home, you relax, ngiyithole kahle, and then come back tomorrow with a different energy, yabo. So yeah, theater is the best, but for me, I'd rather stick to TV for now. Yeah.
Let's get into your role, which you're going to be playing on Durban Gen, Kelvin.
Yeah.
Tell us about Kelvin. Who is Kelvin? What can we expect from Kelvin?
Yeah. Firstly, ngathi nje uKelvin akekho kude kakhulu no Bhekisizwe, yabo. Na into engienjoy kakhulu ngale character nanokuthi izoba into it's a long running thing. So bathina the basket yama fruits wami iseduzane, ngiyakwazi ukuvele ngithi ngifake, yabo, angistruggleish kakhulu. So uKelvin is very charismatic. Yes, ikisihuwa. Yabo.
Akunankinga usibhede isiZulu isingisi.
Bathi
ungabhede yonke into ngaphandle kwesiZulu.
KweZulu, yeah. He's une confidence, self-assured, and he's coming from a very humble beginnings because ubaba wakhe basebenze kanzima benoma wakhe, they both working la esibhedlela eDurban General. So naye at some point, because he's a hustler kahle kahle, he started off as a DJ. So wazama ukudj, yabo lento ukudj ayimsebenzeli. And then because manje ukudj uthola ama gigs uphinde ungawatholi, and then wagcina esefundela nursing, of which ulandela indlela yasekhaya, yabo. So manje ula esibhedlela, is romantic, but une part nje lokuthi ama relationships wakhe aphela before they even start. Like akumhambeli kahle kana.
Yini inkinga ngoKelvin kangaka?
As mina ngendlela uBhekisizwe ambuka ngayo uKelvin, ngathi wasaba ntombazana.
Ngabe nobheki unenkinga efanayo.
No, hayi lapho ke no, angikunzi, hayi khona.
Ngiyadla. Mhlawumbe khona usisi wabantu nje wazi uthi ubheki wami sengibhizi la ngizokufaka imibuzo ezokufaka enkingeni.
Hayi no. Sicala ke gogo.
But ke akusenani. I mean, okay, uKelvin usebenza esibhedlela.
Yeah.
Shuthi
as a male nurse, he's a professional male nurse.
Wena Bheki ikhona into ubuyazi nurse, not alone just nje nurse, but like a male nurse.
Yo mfethu yabona kunento coincidence eyenzakalayo. My late mother, igama lakhe kwaku nurse, and wayethi ufuna abantwana bakhe baba ama nurse.
Ayibo.
So at some point usisi wami wazama ukufundela ubunurse, the firstborn, but she couldn't make it because of our finances and stuff. Wayeka. And then now she went back wayofunda. She's but staff nurse manje. So yena ngimconsultayo mangenza le character le. But mina kwelami side angiboni ukuthi ngeke ngafundela kuba nurse. Yeah, so that's why we clash no Kelvin. Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, like nami before mina ngisipane esibhedlela.
Yeah.
Before ngisipane, like ngangihlezi ngithi thawonesa abantu besifazane kuphela, yabo.
Yeah.
And then mangifika esipaneni aside no bakhona onesa abamajita. And then obviously the more you work there, then you realize ukuthi vela sikizathu sokuthi ngingabikho abantu besilisa benza lo msebenzi.
Yeah. So ukukhatha nami ilento enze ngibe excited when I heard ukuthi I got the role ukuthi ngibe unurse, because I've been ebhedlela, like I've been in different hospitals. I've seen labantu indlela abatreata ngayo abantu ama male nurse, they are the sweetest. esibhedlela yabo. So ngathi mangithola hey yabona manje i-challenge but I need ukuthi ngibenze babuke ke babe bahle labantu the way bengakhona because Kelvin is not pretending to be someone, he's just that like he's sweet njenganabo nurse abama male nurse yabo nokuthi abantu baba respect because kunalento le abayenza babebize ngabo sister yabo hey sister Kelvin hey yabo abaye bagcina sebedlala ngayo uthola ukuthi manje umuntu usevesana kubize ngo sister kanti i-profession yakho mhlawumbe kudala babebizwa ngo sister kodwa manje
uhlezi use male nurse use
so say
I'm sure kuna yabo nje mina nginabangani abaningi yabo abamanesi abantu besilisa yabo shout out to Tipos by the way
shout out Tipos siyabona we see you
shout out to Ray abaningi olobo engibaphethe ne
sure
so like yabo ama out lawo nje ama out yaselokishini
exactly yabo usakhuluma ngendaba ukuthi ama out because abanye abantu unesi omjida they think ukuthi manje usondele kakhulu ekubeni umuntu wesimame or mhlawumbe you are gay some official don't have a problem with that yabo because umuntu nomuntu une choice yakhe either you gay or whatever gender or what i profession yakho uyayithanda but abantu bathanda ukuthi abantu abawu-male nurse bacanga ukuthi they are too soft they can't do izinto abanayo manpower and stuff yabo kanti lokho ayikho kanjalo bazobona abantu ngoKelvin uKelvin umjida but yabona elokishini uyazi ukuthi uKelvin uhamba golf 6 yabo uphila amagushi
Kelvin uone elokishini
he's Mr Nice Life and then uyakwazi ukuswisha because ufundile uprofessional about umsebenzi wakhe he's very strict futhi because even kunama interns uyakwazi ukwasiza ngesinye isikhathi yabo our mentor ukuthi okay la enziwa kanje na kanje
and yazi sorry ukhatha le nto ishoyo iqiniso ngoba like yabona esipanini uthola ukuthi labo odokotela ama interns asodokotela abasuke besafika mhlambe baphume college umsebenzi omningi because baspend isikhathi esiningi around ama nurse basifunda kubo umsebenzi bawufunda kubo honest
yes because as unurse wena une practical eningi because une experience eningi because labantu uphila nabo almost every day mhlawumbe uthi una 5 years fine umuntu odokotela or intern efikayo ibuya esikoleni ifundile most of the time i-theory abayiphethe eningi ukuface the real world bazothola mase befike esibhedlela ufish that when bezohlangana nama-nurse aba usizo kakhulu so that's why mina ngithi nje abantu abanga-undermine ama-nurse like especially abo-doctor because ama-nurse it's fine awayile awafundile ngaleyo ndlela leyo kodwa umsebenzi wabo uyancomeka futhi baba usizo kodokotela
and futhi phela kumele sikhumbule ukuthi mase sikhuluma esibhedlela it's not about udokotela or unurse it's about the patient
yes
so manje uba uqinisile mawuthi na kubalekile ukuthi wonke umuntu anikezana indawo
yakhe yes
and I think I character yakho from what you're telling us it's going to improve thinking yabantu in terms of this whole thing around ukuthi umuntu wesilisa can be a nurse
yes
and not only that but you also to earn a living siphila esikhathini esinzima njengamanje akusona isikhathi sokuthi mina ngiyakhetha umsebenzi
you're right
so I feel like character yakho is one of those key characters within this whole production that's going to highlight something that's thina as umphakathi especially while South Africa si neglect time yabo ngoba usho futhi ukuthi uyakwazi ekubeni unesi mayise ngeke emsebenzini
uyihlalela namajidi yabo because yabo ukuthi ke phela angazi ukuthi in real life yabo official njengoba ngizoqala kuba uKelvin I think into abantu abaningi abazoyi adapta leyo ukuthi kahle kuleka mawumjidi unesi but hlala namajidi ngaphandle and nabantu abangakucwasi ngendaba yokuthi wena unesi uthi manje ngiyakubona esibhedlela unenkinga mhlawumbe uyagula sekenzeka ngelinye ilanga siyajuruzela somewhere yabo so uyaqhamuka maye akumele mina ngikhumbuze ukuthi hey lo mjidi bese esibhedlela hey usaba umjovo lo mjidi yabo nawe same thing ungazi lo ngikhumbuza manje hey lona ustrict esibhedlela cha asiqhubeke nempilo sirespectane because uyi patient nawe respect ukuthi la uyi patient ubungani bethu bangale ngaphandle nanani vele singabumaintaina but now kune serious condition esibhekene nayo okugula kwakho mina ngila ukuthi ngikusize wena ululama yabo so kumele sisebenzisane at the same time impilo zethu ziqhubeke futhi siba abantu kahle.
I mean I want to find out from you ne being an actor and you ukhulele ngala so to say and previously mangabe wenza acting bekhamba khona isikhathi la kufuneka khona uhambe eGoli uyofuna umsebenzi ngoba amathuba omsebenzi la abekhona kodwa nina njengamanje sesiphila esikhathini sokuthi umsebenzi usuthola nje khona la.
I mean I'm from that era yabantu abayegoli and ukuya kwabeGoli akuzange kube mnandi yabo that's why ngithe ngasuka ekhaya emafamily emzimkhuze emakhaya ke straight ngeza eThekwini then from Durban there was theater only there was no production house or anything iTV besazi uthina melu eGoli ukuze uve active that's why besingenandaba neTV because we never thought ukuthi we will make it kwiTV because we le kude kunathi yabo so bese enjoy nje ukudlalela stage whatever siyenza but siyabonga ukuthi industry ivulekile ibuyile country ibuyile ekhaya so KZN so yakwazi ukuthi uvuke edladleni uyele emsebenzini yabo
uyaspanini ntambama you on screen
yabo ubuye uphathela isinkwa nawe uhluhle nefamily yakho ubukile umsebenzi ade wenza khona la KZN then ukuthi balinde kuze kube uDecember sombona ngoDecember nomuntu waphela eGoli nakhona kubuyeke yabo ziningi izinto ezibambanayo sometimes imali ibe khona uthi usayibekile inyamalala hayi December uphele 2 years
yeah kodwa bekunzima before and nje like if I can nami mangicabanga nje ukuthi okay yabo njengamanje even nathi njengoba senze content kanje yabo it's nice because now we have access to actual characters on screen prime time nakhona which is rare ukuthi ungayithola la eKZN lento efana njengale
behanjelwa lento before hey
yeah so like ukufika kwe in fact the whole company is Stainglass so to say is content producers or production as a production house it's a huge thing that they're doing for KZN and not just in terms of having an industry but like job creation because it's not just you guys there's people who work behind the scenes as well
because anything I was so happy ngi-invitiwe ngasekhaya
when khona oyedwa nje wabo la naku yaphakamisa
showcase ngithe ngajabula yabo ngafika ngasekhaya kunenye into ekuthiwa babiza ngama career expo and stuff for the first time kukhona abantu I think it was KZN Film Commission yayifikile like bezo educate abantu ngokuthi industry before ungena ku-industry udinga ukuthi ufunde ini nani ofishini opportunity esingazange siyithole ngathina lesi sikhathi sethu yabo but ngendlela ekwenzeka ngayo manje uyabona ukuthi kuyavuleka abasadinga ukuthi baye eGoli or maybe mele uzusesha online ukuthi lento ifundela kanjani mele ube ne-agent sekhona ama-agencies ala represent ama-actors office ade ngekho 10 years ago yabo so siyabonga sijabulile nje
siyabonga Bheki I think that's going to be it for today. It's certainly the first time but it's kokugcina Bheki nisazobona ukuthi
ngiyabonga bafethu
ngiyabonga before uhambe some anything mhlambe that you feel like you want to share with our audience to the camera
this one bafowethu bobhutnani bosisi lapha emakhaya abasa nesifiso sokungena kwi-industry baba ama-actors akuwona umdlalo uqala into engizoyisho lena and ungagijimisi udumo because into esilimaza abafowethu abaningi bafuna ukuba on screen bafuna ukuba famous they want to take pictures nabantu but they forget about the craft behind yabo because you need ukuthi ube disciplined kumsebenzi wakho and kungabe i-motivation yakho kube ukuthi ngifuna ukuduma ngibe se-TV but be willing to work hard. There's a lot of opportunities. You can work behind the scenes. You don't have to be on screen and you can still shine even though you are behind the camera or DOP. Just miningi umsebenzi bafethu ningafocus into eyodwa and stay humble ningathi nifuna ukuthi hey siduma sifane nosibanibani bese ubhampela abantu hayi akwenzi lokho ngibhala kanjalo bathi showcase ihamba ne pillowcase.
And joining me is ZuluBlack, who plays the character of Dr. Ncube. Oh, sorry, my bad. Mkhunu.
Yes.
Mkhunu, Ncube.
Closely.
Yeah, cishe kusondelana. Well, welcome to the podcast, ZuluBlack. By the way, I know this nigga way before this whole thing.
Yeah.
So he's a musician if he's not acting. See, hey, abantu banamatalent amaningi wethu. Niyasiqedela thina sowenze njani thina banye?
Unakho nje silana mfethu.
Ugrandi phosa?
Ngimnandi ngeza kwena mfethu.
Sure mfethu. Yazi ukuthi I didn't know ukuthi I act.
For real?
For real.
Don't you like follow me on Instagram?
I do, dog. You only started posting about your acting shit like recently.
Mfethu. Mina bengiyazi mfethu.
I know bengazi, dog. And if uthi yazi ukuthi you happen to be homies with Tiny's flatmate.
Who?
Well, two of them. Kuno Simpiwe Shezi, no Nkosi Shezi.
Oh, Simpiwe Shezi.
Yeah.
I'm not from PMB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I remember when I first came across the video that you shot performing on Mac.
Oh, yeah. Sawubona.
And I showed them, and they're like, yo, this is my homie. Like, how do you know this nigga? I'm like, I know I bumped into him on the internet.
Homeboys,
yeah, bro. But other than that, here you are now.
Hey, Fitz.
Your first, is it your first?
First.
Major.
First.
Character.
First.
On primetime TV.
Showcase.
Can you do it any bigger, dog?
Hey, Fitz. Hey, Nkulunkulu, Fitz. Nkulunkulu. Yeah.
I mean, for people that don't know, how has it been? I mean, your journey coming up to your first big break on TV.
Oh, bro. So, okay, mina bengigeleze afternoon.
Yeah.
La Durban North. Ngifunda khona ngishaya stage and screen acting. So, did that from 2015 to 2018. I graduated 2019. So, just like any other kid before, because back then, like, I think it was 2 years ago, la eThekwini khona Stainglasstv, which is like the main production house that produces amashow amaningi yabo. So, bekhona Uzalo Nembewu phela yabo. So just like any other kid, if it's on his face, so good naye oyithanda icraft yakhe. My first thing that clicked emqondweni wami ukuthi I graduated get Jozi anyway. So ngaye Jozi 2019 ngiyohustlisha khona bonje ngathi ngafunda ngama agencies na yonke lonto ayingahustlisha futhi ngahliswa ngahlangana ngabuye. It was around July. Ngaphindela November khona outtime lapha eJozi esihlala khona iswala eThekwini. So ngabuyela khona ke eJozi. Mengifika kwi-outside masisi bus and vele edladleni yabo isimo financially besingekho mnandi kakhulu. So goqa itime yabo ngithi ngidinga inyuku for kwenza into kanje. Vele bona bangayizwa indaba yegoli vele. Because bazivela abazali bese bathi igoli indawo yabo iGomora.
Zokudunga.
Ezokulimaza. So ngiyeke bro wami mfethu egoli. Angihlangana le outtime ngilisha igama lakhe but ngihlangane naye ngifike ekseni ngathi sibhasa sebusuku ngifike ekseni. Ngifike kuyena ngithole audition athi some social eshandisa intwana yabo ngexam.
Yeah.
Asishaya audition, mesifike audition ngithola call back. Njami ngayithola call back yabo. Ngihlaleke mfethu ngize ngibuyele entambama lapha ngethi taxi ngibuyele khona. Ngifika lapha bro wami, ikhwama zami zonke ezingaphandle esangweni. Yabo le nto. So
you were in dab.
So mfethu ngiyayifonela ke le out yabo. Ngifona imbuzo yabo mfethu ngafica ikhoma zami ama laptop amangaphandle kwenzakalani kusekasi la yabo vele izinto zami ngifica sezingaphandle outtime vele shoot I know mfethu manje ngiyakwazi ukuhlala nomuntu ozongitshela ama opportunities yabo lento ngithi how umjito serious angilazi igoli mfethu yabo lento. So vele ekhaya ngisho ukuthi ngiyapi ngiyokwenzana ngikwazi ukufonela ekhaya ngithi ngisekini kanje indawo engiyaziyo ise park station.
Shit.
That's
the last place you want to know in Joburg.
Hey bro. Angidwebe bro wami ngepark station which is la probably spent 2 months khona. Trying ukuthi ngithola imali ukuthi ngikwazi ukubuyela eThekwini.
Dog, you spent 2 months at park station?
Yeah, khona mama badayisa lapho ngemuva. Yabo park station la kune rank khona. So ngibeka ikhoma zami kubona
so ngihlala kubona ke ngaze ngavula i-gym membership e-Virgin Active eBram ngenze ukuthi ngikwazi ukuba nendawo engizovuka khona ngiyogeza kuba ngathi ngizojima ngishaya i-gym mase ngiyageza yabo. And I used to walk ke mfethu yabo ngihambe nje endaweni eseduze njengabo yiphi indawo lapha eBram mfethu koMoja Love ngiye khona mfethu ngiyocela isipani ngisho ngisi noma kuthiwa nje ngiyashanela la phansi ngenza noma yini yabo at least umuntu uzofunda esephakathi lokho enyuka kancane yabo azafela lento afuna ukuyenza. So kungahlangani mfethu ngibhampe ngihambe ngiye kuzonke izindawo ama agencies angina agent lapho kulo mzuzu ayingibhampele mfethu up until kufika la khona kuphela amandla ngithi yazi no I can't live like this ngeke ngiphile impilo kanje angixoshwanga ekhaya ngilahlanga angibuyele eKZN ngizeThekwini mase ngibuyele ekhaya ngeMandeni. Tshela uthi bro wami into engigcine sengenza sengiwasha amatekisi khona lapha ukuze ngihlanisa imali ngisave imali yebhasi ke manje ezobuyela eDurban save imali yebhasi and this is now around abo bani Facebook bani this was this year now around was March if I'm not mistaken April March around April March lapho ngisave imali ke manje lapho ngafika la eDurban ngo March. And I remember before I left eJozi ngangithole for yona Durban Gen so amele ushaye ilentozi because of COVID so amele ushaye audition tape via your phone and then you
send a
email
video.
So ukwazi amajita avela kwi-industry so nami ngiyathola bengisindela ama audition yabo so ngishaya lo Shandisi mina ngize ngiqamba manga ngithi hayi ngikutrinity khona agency my current agency now ngibhale wena phansi ngithi hayi nansi agency yami. And so kwathuleka nje bro wami ngabuya lana ngathi ngifika la eThekwini ngathola i-call from yena i-agent yami izongitshela ukuthi hayi ucastiwe. I was like how vari like imagine this has been a space of like now a month kuthulekile because wakulokho ekupostpone because of i-COVID obviously kupostpone uqala kwayishona ukuthi abantu bacastwa kanjani. So ngathi mengifika nje mfethu la bangitshela ukuthi hayi ucastiwe I'm like yo angikholwanga yabo I was like hayi okay crank sharp whatever. Same day mfethu ebusuku ntambama ngishaye bekunokwenza ama video amshow wabona ama video like live sessions we doing freestyles na yonke leyo nto ngishaye enye futhi mfethu ipost omunye umuntu ku Facebook uShimora ayibone kulo muntu athi ntwana ngicela sipana asi lo muntu ayakuyona akumina lona omunye umjidi. So I revolve as like he went around asking abantu abaningi up until bengithole ku-Instagram uthi ngubani. So on that day mina mfethu it's so significant for me because I feel like uNkulunkulu ayiphendula imthandazo yami ngendlela ukuthi I wanted so badly from high school to go to eJoburg ngingafuni ukuba la ngifuna lento ukuthi ayangifuni uba sekhaya sinjalo umfundisi mina ngane umfundisi so ukukhulele ekhaya kanjalo so we thina sas protected kuthiwa avumelekile ukuvashela abangani yabo sadlala nabangani bami nabama ngale kwefence sidlala yabo iphamu ground indli ngocasha kuyinte kanjalo mfethu
awuvumelekile ukuphuma ekhaya
awuvumelekile ukuvakasha because ba prevent ukuthi ena selokushini lahlala khona uzofunda ama habits abhedala elokushini yabo leyo nto. So mina ngase ngijaha ukuthi hey ngiqedile matric ngiyahamba ngifuna ukuphila impilo nami manje yabo. So mfethu mina for me it felt like ukuhamba kwami kwegoal this was God saying to me okay ade ufuna ukegoli kakhulu uyarasa you always njalo ngisho ngithandaza ngiyacomplain why ngenzeki kumina abangani bami baphumelela abangani bami engigraduate nabo bayasebenza abanye odokotela abanye sebezoba maloya bonke lento ngithi why me God why me yabo njalo nje why me uNkulunkulu ngiyacela. But now mase ngibuya yonke reflecting back yonke into enzalile I really feel like uNkulunkulu it's okay urasa too much ucomplain too much awuhambe ngibe ngikuprepare into yakho la where you need to be umele ube sekhaya ube la yonke into yakho wena uhupa le goal kanti yonke into ila. My record label is here in Durban show Durban Gen Stainglasstv is here in Durban yabo. So ukubuya kwami lana was like okay now you are ready for izinto ekuprepare zona bengidinga ukuthi ubele kude uzamele ngamandla akho because manje wena utshela ukuthi yabo uzozenzela izinto hamba kuzama amandla akho while I prepare yonke lento la and then the rest was history ngila namhlanje and it's all because of God's grace and mercy.
Wow dog
yeah.
That's hectic. Like, you know, like most people like who somewhat have isn't emakhaya, basaba to live the comfort of that they get a kai, and go expose themselves to the wildest. I mean, you literally did that. Like you left a kaya where there was comfort, and you're like, let me go forge my own path. And indlela yakho was one of the coldest. I mean, ukuba homeless eJozi,
Yeah.
dog. Yo, that's hectic. And not only like if you khuluma preparation, you were being prepared. Even the lessons that you learned while you were going through those things.
Sure.
A preparation for where you are now and where you're going forward.
Sure.
You know. So I mean, like it's a wonderful journey.
When you look back at it, massive I should say no, because so we'll cut it off. Because even with me, ngizing decide uya after. Mina ngangifundela ukuthi ngifavor setting ngifuna ukushaya ilo. So ngase ngiacceptiwe lapha eVits. So it was a Friday, Monday orientation week yaqala eVits. I found out about after the Saturday. School fees is after lapho mind eVits. Don't about more 90,000. Ngiyazi ukuthi vele ekhaya. Ngeke bezwise kahle
We're not trying to have that.
Aw mina nga-apply ngenza yonke into nga-apply ngasinayo because mina vele ngisakhula bengibuka i-Etv. So presenting vele bekuyinto engincanywa kakhulu yabo Grand Sharp. So vele yonke bengiyenza mina leyo and amashow amaningi like I've entered like so many competitions o presenter section 3 Zanzi Insider top 5 MTV Base wonke la mashow nje mfethu abo for presenting because that's what into engingithanda kakhulu kanti after ngizobe ngithole ukuthi akuya act nayo ke lento le. So mina mfethu wathi makumele sengi orientation week time selling practice lithi driver ke sengizoye eGoli ke hawu yimi ndo ngithi angisayi lapho nasi isikole ngisitholala ethi
Your problem child.
So I know okay ayikho inkinga asitshengisa ama forms kuyimalini 90,000 time wathi mfana mkhohlwe leyo nto athi ubani bayadlala ngaya futhi ngayi orientation week ngayi attend ngalesi sijumpile vele sengigatshiwe ngifika nge-orientation week igatshiwe so abasena choice kumele ngigeleze kodwa kusalayo time first la shama sacrifice la dayisa imoto zakhe eziwu2 zokuqala ukuze ngikwazi ukuqeda. Second year was the toughest because imoto vele seyidayisiwe angazi unze njani bona they babelala belambile endlini just for me ukuthi at least kwazi ukuthi ukuqhutsheka bo like nge-school fees. So nje mfethu hayi bana ngihluphile mina bro wami ngihluphile mfethu but it was all for the love of the craft yami into engithandayo ngiyazi at the end of the day angifuni ukuthi mase ngimdala ngenza into and I'm like I'm hating waking up every morning going to work ngiyayizonda lento because even coming here mina I don't feel like I'm at work like I have so much fun if it's like la Spanish ngiyahlupa but ukuhlupa lokho kuthanda yabo like I have so much fun if it's every time if it's me I don't feel like I'm working yabo.
That's what happens when you're doing something that you're passionate about.
Sure.
I mean, right, let's get into your character, man.
All right, sure.
Dr. Mkhunu.
Yep.
What are the differences, if they are, or similarities, if they are, between Wena and I? Is there a point where you guys relate and you're like, say, mina nalo muntu lo kahle kahle, or mhlambe nje is a total opposite of you?
He's not the total opposite. Umkhunu Umnqobi. Okay, vele ama differences ukuthi Umnqobi usuka from a rich, wealthy family, yabo. I mean, I don't come from a rich, wealthy family. So obviously with that already, i-mindset yomuntu ophuma kumndeni oright nomuntu ongaphuma umndeni oright, ama-mindset awafani, yabo. So vele yena, like he's a talented guy, Mkhunu vele. Very talented, gifted when it comes to izinto zo medical, yabo. Very gifted. So Mkhunu, he doesn't try much. Like it's like he knows vele ukuthi
second nature.
He lazes around because uyazi ukuthi la vele ngizoyishaya lento le yabo. So when you see the difference between him and I mean I have to work hard for everything for ukuyithola. And then Mkhunu last esifana khona ke ayuphaphile lo mchita. Yo, hey, yeah papa lay out. It's too forward. Yabo nje ukhuluma la ngamela akhulume khona. Yabo nje uzobona nama siqala ishow uhleze senkingeni nxa uthi nje umlomo wakhe awuvaleki. Awuvaleki umlomo wakhe. So uhleze ekhuluma la ngafela akhulume khona. Enza nje uzomfica ehlele etafuleni ereception like uchili kuyena nje mfethu angazi usemhlabeni wakhe lo mjida yabo. And thanda amantombazane cool. Hayi asifani ke lapho. Ngibonile
Sas.
No. Thanda iskate Mkhunu.
Sombona umnqobi Mkhunu kodwa uZuluBlack hey. Sas. Hayi uzobuza ushimora.
Hayi ungangeni lapho ungayi lapho. But uyawathanda amantombazane. Mkhunu is basically that guy fethu yabo thandela nice life yabo thanda ukuyichilela yabona mfethu like umjito grand kahle kahle yabo because into engiyenzile well for me I background yakho umchunu noma ephuma kwi rich family but also mina njenge actor nambe kumele ke ngi-add because mengithola I-character bio mina kuthiwa nje comes from a rich family and u-intern doctor so mina mele nami ngenza umsebenzi wami uthi okay ngiyeke vele ngisebenza ukuthi nje uphuma from a rich family kwenzakalani lo mndenini wakhe so mina ngifande nezinto ebengi-add khona njengokuthi noma ephuma kwi-rich family listen I-personality yakhe like not even a personality yakhe I-persona because I-persona la ibeka kubantu umchunu is not who he really is umchunu ukuphapha kwakhe mfethu nokuba hyperactive nokwenza bonje ukuba all over the place mina ngithatha ngathi okay ngoba ephuma emndenini no right khona izinto ayifihlayo is it trying is I-mask le mina ngokubuka kwami ke I-mask yonke le persona yakhe umchunu like wenzela he doesn't want because akayena ngisho umuntu express ama feelings akhe yabo ngisho sengizokhipha indaba ze story manje kodwa nje khona akayena umuntu expressa ama feelings akhe but for me it's like I-mask yonke leyo nto like there's a lot that is hiding une pain eningi umchunu again which is I think subtextually when people are watching the show they will be able to pinpoint those little bit of things which lemchita ngoma actor kanje shuthi it's because of nabo abantu bazoyifile ama edit but mhlambe kwenzeka ukuthi yabo into engatshengiswa screenini so yeah that's umchunu mfethu like akanendaba uthi uyiboss ubani uzoyikhuluma into ayikhulumayo nje mfethu yabo but it's a very very I feel like abantu I hope I hope bazomthanda abantu but from paper reading the script I loved umchunu mina mfethu ibrayam yabo like nje kanje naye manje because sometimes but even when I'm at home I live with Ubhek and you had him on your previous episode Ubhek and we live together name even at home mfethu sometimes I feel like ngumchunu azakhuze nathi hayibo why usuwenza izinto kanje manje like izinto ezenzela because ngiphila every day yabo lento so but that's the fun thing about it
I mean, outside of your character, just if we look at the show as a whole, what do you think the audiences out there will learn from the whole show? Or some of the things that it doesn't have to be everything, but like, what do you feel like people will learn this and learn that?
Bro, there's so much. I won't even lie to you. Like the story, because I'm sure vele manje abantu bacabanga ukuthi okay the show it's a medical drama kunya ngesibhedlela but there's within isibhedlela impilo zabantu isiphila nabo la esibhedlela we all have our personal issues and they're all brought into the hospital so yonke into idrama yenzala esibhedlela so and with the storylines indlela astructure ngawo there's so many different lessons nemfundiso efika nawe yabo so I can't like specifically pinpoint ukuthi yini abantu abazoyifunda kahle from the show because there's so many dynamics nama storylines izinto so because ezinye izinto wena ongeke uyibone as a lesson okumunye izoba a lesson ezinye izinto engeke relate kuwena ezo relate komunye umuntu vice versa yabo lento but into engayisho ukuthi there is so much so much abantu abazoyifunda and there's different lessons so umuntu uzobamba kubambayo ukurelate naye anga relate naye akudedele
it would be a sin if uhambe ngakubuzanga ukuthi music-wise, what can we expect from ZuluBlack?
From ZuluBlack, music-wise, I'm dropping this month. Ngiyaqala uku-announce dates namhlanje. Ngiyadroppa between the 10th and the 15th my debut single under iWestinki, which is ngalisho igama lengoma?
Yeah, if you feel like it.
Ingiyacela.
Shout out. Is it just you on the track?
It's just me on the track.
Nice.
And yeah, hi.
ZuluBlack is here and he's here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first time, it's not the last time.
Definitely not the last time, bro.
Before Hambe, anything you wanna give our audience, Ubashi and I, that's top of your mind or that's more important to you? Or drop a 16.
16.
If you can.
Okay. Ngizothi nje mfethu ngifaka under pressure manje phela mina ngithi ngicula ngesizulu
uyiperform
manje
when you're not an act like by the way kuneshandi sakhe engangayibona in theater like ku Instagram shit dog, yo yeah but again it's not about the context you want to look at the acting the skill the talent ubone ukuthi ngoba ekwazi ukwenza lo stage ukuthi mayise on TV uzobona uzobekulethelana
sure Before ngishaye 16 into engizoyisho nje sibafethu, please make sure to catch Durban Gen nibuke, and we're still in the time of COVID. Make sure ukuthi enihlele emakhaya, you guys sanitize, nenza wonke nje follow shonke ama precautions ukuthi nigcine ni safe. Mina uZuluBlack lona undaba ezithi ususikandaba uDlotova Bhefa nemsebelanga ibhovule emnyama ibhovule ngakhonkuthela lumanayo kuphela, so nayo 16 yami ithi ngangena ngoshuni wenkani mawuthatha ukubheka ngihlomile kwenkabi wathele kuZulu kwaxeqa amatolo wemadoda kwenzakalani ingabe uloshuni wenkani hayibo latheleka ibhovule emnyama bo latheleka ibhovule emnyama bathotha liloshuni wehla kamnandi bo sonke ngathi ngilenga imillion ngigqiba amabhillion nokufika ngifahlaza inamba sibari maseqhuma nesipillion hayibo yangena lenkunzi ebomvu umshini oyishintsha wona uZulu lo mshini oyishintsha wona sheshilisa ngayo phansi sis fahlaza inamba ngishiya abantu begula gijimizisa kwaphuma umphalazo thola isitsapha ngiyabagulisa ngibashiya bededela umrakatati mina utatako kodwa ngoba ngumZulu ohlonishwayo biza ubabakho hayibo mntanami bo kwamanzi phansi ishu idrip iconso kwangempela ungamangali ishu masengiphula lapha nomntana oyelo ngashashalaza qhuma isiqandu ngishiya ingane idumo kwangempela Taki jam.
Shout out, dog. That's ZuluBlack. Catch him every Monday to Friday at 6:30 on ETV. Ungalenzi put Durban Gen.
Don't forget to follow me, guys. _ZLBlack on Instagram, all social media platforms. Yeah, bro.
I'm trying to be modest, Ken. Let's just work with it. But anyways, nginganya Swatini, an area called Etv. That's where my gran is from, my mother's side. I started off in accounting after high school.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. But I was running.
Yeah.
I was running away from media because I grew up in a very Christian background, Konisonte Kaya and stuff. So I couldn't, I don't know, I didn't know how the two worlds could mix, like in terms of media and all my morals and stuff like that, because the stigma is that you have to do certain things to get certain things. So I was like, my moral compass does not allow. So I was like, let me just go be an accountant. Let me make money. And, you know, so straight after high school, I went to university, AUJ, did accounting. I failed. I failed. No, listen. No, I failed. You know what? I like a statement. I just like, oh my God. And then she knew what you can actually check it online. I'm like, I need to take it. Like, yeah. So, anyways, after that, I went to UKZN. Did become marketing because I was like, no, no man, go back home. Yeah, so I did become marketing. UKZN was restful, and I love Punji. Same story. Yeah, then I took a gap year. In my gap year, I ended up working at Capitec. I think they were just like, what the hell is going on with her? You know, but it was routine, you know. And then after that, I did consultancy. I moved to Joburg again through the bank because I was like, the only way I'm going to move from, because I was in the marketing department, and then I was like, the only way I'm going to move to Joburg is if you guys get me a placement there. So then I was a sales consultant that side. And my sister was like, because you're probably blocking someone's blessing. This job is someone else's prayer. This is not your prayer. Because we were staying around Greenstone, and it was like 5 kilometers away from the house. It's like, Hampofund. So I went, I applied, and then the next year I started studying drama. Eventually graduate. I was doing cum laude there. I was like, how did that you know?
After so many years.
You know? And then on my last theater production, there was an agency that scouted me, and that's how I got an agent.
Joburg.
This was still in Joburg, yes. And then I started doing auditions, but majority of the time I was doing my road shows. So we'd go and perform at high schools or primary schools. With different brands, depending on what the client wanted. So I was acting / presenting, you know, but I was still doing something that I love. And then I landed a small role, Guzalo, I think 2014, Lab. And
those were the early days of Uzana, I think.
yes, season 2, season 2, you know. But like when I look back now, I don't think I was ready for it because even no man go shoot, I was like every time maybe the AD comes and calls me, I'm like they're gonna be like, you know. And it's like I prayed for it, but then I wasn't ready for it. So when it came, I was like, what do I do with this? Okay, let me just make sure it finishes. I didn't even take pictures. I wasn't in it. You know, like I was there physically because I had to be there and I had said I'm going to be there. But enjoyment or anything like that, I was just like, I paid, you know, because I don't think I had figured out myself. And once you get the platform, what are you going to do with the platform? You know, so then after Uzalo, I went back to roadshows again and whatnot. And then till this year, I had auditioned for a hostela. This was February.
Season 2 or season 1?
Season 2. February. Auditioned for season 2 a hostel. I had callbacks. I was like, God. And I'd been working on myself because I started like a journey to self, because I was like, if I'm praying for a platform, I actually need to know what I'm going to say, you know. So I was like, figure out what you like, figure out what you're about. What are you going to stand for when you have the opportunity to use your voice, you know. So from last year, I was like downloading reflective questions on Pinterest, and then while I'm touring with the road shows, I'd write them down and answer them, like figuring out my opinion on matters, because growing up from a church, you just literally told how to behave and you're very robotic. So I didn't have an opinion for the longest time. So it was a shock to me to figure out, so actually you don't know yourself, so figure it out. So I was doing that, and then when the audition came for a hostela, I was like, yeah, stars are aligning, you know. I've worked on myself. Yes, let's do this.
Ready.
You know, I thought I was ready. Okay, cool, we do callbacks, and then there's always that pause where you have to wait, and am I going to get the call? Am I not going to get the call? And I was in Joburg, because it was open auditions, but abandonment agencies could also come through. So when I was just washing dishes in my friend's place, because so I'd just go to friends' places if I'm in Joburg. So I was just washing the dishes, and I think I stopped breathing for like 2 seconds. Seriously, and tears just started gushing out. And I was just like, book a flight back home. This is not yours. We are done, actually. I never in my life did I think I would have been done with the industry, but I was like, I'm done. My friend comes back, it's a young flight time, I don't drop airport. It's like, how much? I was like, the call back, it's my go to corner. Is on fit up handbill, but it's me. I'm done. Like, and she doesn't even know. So I had like a mini breakdown and whatever. And usually when I get home, how come Gatima? Not today. Not like and I'm a very strong person. So for me to say I'm not okay was
a huge alarm.
No, not like, yeah, my body was like, what are you saying? This is not, I'm a very optimistic person, footy, naturally. So for me to say I'm done, I'm giving up, I'm but mina, ne media, done, you know? And Uma was just like, oh, and I had planned like a week after to do my headshots and whatnot. So what's this one? My sister is in China, so she was just checking up on me. She's like, oh, how did it go? Manje, photo shoot. I'm like, I will make a next step right now. Can I just sit in this pity party? Let me, because I think I hadn't felt in a long time, because I know that the industry has rejection, but this one just hit differently. Like, it's always like, okay, you get rejected, yeah, we'll just go to an audition and then so go back. But this one, I was like,
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and I'm done. I'm Toby, but I'm done. You know? But the shocking thing is like, okay, you're done, sis. I was like, because I've always been sold out. I've always been sold out on that number one thing. You know, so when I eventually did my headshots in the misery that I was in, and then the following week after that, I asked my photographer friend to just record a video, and the video is called Plan B Does Not Exist. So I wrote down a piece, like just explaining, Wuti, I'm right, I'm done, you know, but at the end of the video, it's like, but if you've never had Plan B, can you actually ever be done? Because I've always been about Plan A. So eventually I got better, and then I just got COVID thing. I said, at least everybody's on pause. Nobody's gonna be asking me what my next step is. So I'm COVID, you know. So I just built a routine, worked out, continued with my jogs, and did my reflective questions. I was just minding my business, like journeying to myself, you know. And then I was out with friends. My phone has DMs on my Instagram. Like, my Instagram is ghost town. Like, nobody DMs me. Nice. I kid you. I kid you not. My life is just not that exciting, guys.
You know, I don't believe that.
Why?
There's a
what?
A female who has quite deep.
No, listen, I kid you. No, I'm not inviting people to come into my DMs.
No, I'm not,
but I'm just saying,
like, really,
no,
quiet.
No, I'm
no,
I've got a resting B face. So apparently I'm into dating, so I don't know.
You have to be good to scare niggas on the other end online.
It's soon Sammy, Julie.
Well, get ready for a storm or a tsunami,
right?
Because you're gonna be on TV every day at 5:30.
At 6:30, yeah.
You on ETV.
Yo, dude. Yeah, so I get on Instagram DMs at me, and I'm just, I get a message. It's like, Fanele, are you a Durban based or a Joburg based actress? I'm like,
who's asking?
At the moment, I don't know. Like, you're just nonchalant responding. And it's, no, I'm Durban based, but I frequent Joburg a lot. And then like, have you auditioned for a Durban Gen? And I'm just like, no, the last thing I auditioned for was a hostel, and then I just keep it moving. Fine. And then the person's like, please, what's this? Please send me your email address and your number. We want to email you a script, and we want you to self-tape. Please send it by tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'm just like, okay, fine. Then I'm like, ngikhuluma nobani. I go to the page. I'm just like, executive producer of If I Like. I'm like, what? I'm just like, she better respond now. I'm like, you know, because it was like, I was just like, you know, when you're not in a zone of seeking, I was not in a zone of, so I'm not gonna be like, only when I'm just like, you know, Kanti, it's Miss Mitzi who's DMing me, and then of course it's Instagram. Why choose Instagram? The protocol in my structured life, you know, no, send audition brief, and you know, and I had seen like audition briefs at Durban Gen, but I didn't know what it was. And I know with self-tape, I was just like, self-tape, whatever, you know, it will just miss me just like how it missed me, you know, with everything. So I asked a friend, I'm like, please learn the script, and then Noktula came in the morning, and then she DMs me. I said, I know. She told me audition yako siyabonga. I'm like, okay. And I show my mom. I'm like, hey, this happened. And then she's
getting easier.
Yeah, and then I show my mom, this happened, and she's like, okay. And then I show my friends, and I'm like, okay. But you know, when you're so used to rejection, you're just like, yeah, but I'm gonna tell like 10 people, you know, like safeguard, with just in case it falls flat again. I'm not going through that again. I'm not going through that again. You know? And then I'm just like, I was going to run errands for my nephew, just doing his groceries and whatnot. Get a call. Am I speaking to Fanele? I'm like, yeah, this is she. It's like, I think I've got good news for you. What you mean? We would like to offer you this. You know when you think you're going to have the right reaction? And then I'm like, okay, thank you. And then they asked a couple of questions. I'm like, okay, I'll just send an email just to formalize everything. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what? You know when it's like you got the job and it's not processing. You got the job. And like even like call my mom, I'm like, I got it. She's like, huh? Because everybody is just like, what do you mean? Now I'm just like, kanjani manje guys?
How did this one happen?
Yeah. But then it took me back to the prayer I've always had, which in everything that I do, God must be the one who takes the glory, and I can only reference him. And this is the ideal situation because I couldn't reference anything I did. I did, like, I can't even tell you what's step 1, step 2.
And you explaining your approach to this, even when it came to you, like
yeah, and I was just I was done, mina. I was done. So even honestly, okay, I sent. But okay, next week we're doing workshops. Huh? What is going? So I've been going through the motions, and then after workshop, okay, we start shooting. I'm like, what, guys? What? There was no pause till now.
Wait, still has it sunk in yet?
No. It's that thing. There hasn't been a pause because we have to shoot. We get this done, and then now the 5th of October. Now you know what I'm panicking about? Yes, I've got my answered prayer. Now the answered prayer comes into publicity. I'm very introverted, and I'm just like, hey, I should have prayed about the public part as well. God didn't tell me that this also. Like obviously, logically, you know what it's coming, but I'm just like, but at the same time, you don't want to downplay your blessing. So I'm in that, like, how much of myself do I extend without overexerting myself and still having my little comfort zone and bubble, and how much do I actually validate to other people because, oh damn, your dreams are valid.
Yeah. Can I tell you something?
Sure.
Just based off today.
Yeah.
Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. It's working. It's enough.
Yeah, I'll read between the lines.
Anyone know for more? Tune in later.
Basically.
It's still early days.
Yeah. Really move. Like sometimes I wake up at night, I'm like, oh my God, I'm living it.
Yeah. And then you're at home.
And no, you know what? I'm ready for it. Because that's another thing. Because I was like, if Uzalo blew up, I shame. I would not have known what to handle. Whereas now I'm graced with the platform, and I'll tell people to journey to themselves. And then literally your gift opens up room for you. That's literally it. Because at the end of the day, Vele, we are predestined. Like, if I'm an apple tree, I'm going to come out and bring out apple trees. If I'm destined for a certain path, that path is what's going to be. So journey to yourself, God will introduce you to yourself, and then your path will align.
Wow. Journey to yourself. That's an amazing piece of content.
No, I actually have a YouTube channel called Journey to Self.
I actually caught a glimpse of it.
Really? I got me crying on videos.
She got bags of talent.
Yeah, but you know what's beautiful is that before I did my Journey to Self on YouTube, I did Journey to Self privately, and then I did it on Facebook. I for 30 days I asked random questions to myself publicly, and I'd upload the video. And then last year November I hosted a Journey to Self sleepover for 10 girls, and I was like, please meet yourself before your boyfriend validates you, before your mother validates you, validate yourself, you know. So it's been a journey. It's
wow.
Yeah.
You know, there's something I'm also seeing here. I see that you're not only just an actor, you're also a leader.
Yeah.
Outside of.
I was in denial about that, but it follows.
I'm echoing that.
No. I think your people need to enjoy life. That's it. You have to be happy, because then everything else just aligns. Yeah.
I mean, this is good for South Africa, because I mean, like, people within the arts or urban culture, or popular culture, those are key role players in the community.
Yeah.
Not just like on screens, on our
It's not a joke.
You know, within the community. All these powerful words that you're giving to our audience right now, it's exactly what our community here in South Africa needs to hear, especially from young black women, you know, because I feel like we need to shine, to echo leaders, young leaders, especially females.
But not facades. Don't tell me you wake up and you just do affirmations. I need raw. I need uncut. I need even namanje masekuthwale makeup yasuka. I'm still comfortable in my skin. I went to I cut my hair. I forced myself to dye my hair and be like, are you going to stand for your decision? Because ugogo like umzayon. So my figure how utayinole blonde. Ngithi yeah. Because usually I'd be so conforming and I'd be like, oh, hey, let me go dye it back because people's validation was crucial to me. Not that I'm rebellious now, but it's like if I want to dye my hair blonde, I'm going to see it through. And it's just trusting your decisions. So that's what I'm about. Like, yes, let us push media, but push it authentically. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about your character with Dr. Zonda.
Yes.
What can the audience expect from Dr. Zonda? We've established somewhat who is Fanele.
Yes.
So now let's get into your character.
Zondo. Angazi ke noma ngizomzonda yini, but I think it's gonna be a love-hate relationship. Like, you're gonna love what I stand for, truth, but then my tone sometimes might not be the greatest. But at the end of the day, and you know what I stand for, you know. And as hard as she is, she's also gentle. So she's a ball of emotions.
We are balances.
Yeah, we are balances, but it catches you off guard. It catches her off guard because she's very structured. She's very perfectionist. People don't need to see what I'm going through. In that way, we relate because I didn't feel for the longest time. I was like, you sad? But God gives us happiness and whatever. How do you feel good about yourself being sad? Because I couldn't understand that old feelings are meant to be felt. You know, I was like, we can only feel the good. But it's good to sit in the sad. So Uthandekile is very just dismissive. Like, you don't need to know if I'm feeling bad, or you don't need to know if I'm feeling good, because she's been rejected by her mother. You know? So she's got a journey to self now. She's literally got a journey to self, and I think people will be able to relate to her, because my prayer every night is always like, do justice to her story, because it's many people's stories. It might not be the same details and outcome, but do justice so that when people see what she's about, they can also see that there's a silver lining. You know, and I think one thing that I've also learned, Guti, just because I'm on a journey to self, doesn't mean everybody has to hop onto it. It's purely for me. So regardless of whatever circumstances you face as an individual, it is for you. If I eventually apologize for my behavior, great. But if I don't, my life is still going to continue.
Wow.
You know? You get very okay with no apologies. You get very okay with people who don't want to be accountable, because you're accountable to yourself first. Purely that.
You know, that's like something I've also come to realize in my life, is that, you know, it makes no sense for you to harbor negative feelings towards somebody that wronged you.
Yeah.
Because them wronging you feeling like they wronged you, that should be all the power that they can get.
Yes, to a certain degree.
You know,
yeah.
So when you harbor those negative feelings post that point, that's you giving more power to them.
And Labo, they are sleeping. They are and more than anything, be it family, be it friends, I'm not saying be detached, but give the person the freedom to be themselves without you expecting anything from them. What they give you is what they want to extend to you, and if they decide to pause it tomorrow, let that not be your crumbling moment. They're an addition, simply an addition. But when you're good. No, you're good. If a relationship comes, great. If a relationship doesn't come, you are good. You have to be good. Whether your mom says, I love you, whether your dad is there, you are still good. And I used to have daddy issues. Sometimes they still pop up. Sometimes they still pop up, but I had to get to a point where you're like, he's also human. And sometimes it's not even about me. And here I am sitting making every other person pay. You know? And maybe Futsi, he's very aware of what he's doing. You know, some people just don't care. Yeah. You know? True. Some people, it's the reality.
You can't force people to care about you.
Yes. Yeah. So this is another thing that I've tried to live by. Don't demand anything from another person that you haven't demanded from yourself. So if you want love yourself first. So if you want people to care for yourself first. And if you want flowers, buy flowers yourself. Don't come and say, hey, mina ngideserve imbali. No. You set the standard so that easily when someone comes below standard, you are just like, ish. I know you're not my type, but it's cut. Sako. It's not for me in your life. You know.
You're absolutely correct. Like I used to be somebody that holds grudges. You know, if I had a relationship with somebody and we get to a point where it's not so nice anymore, and obviously we go our separate ways, whether it be a friend, family, girlfriend. Yeah. You know, and I one thing I realized outside of that is that, you know, I'm the only one that I know actively is feeling negative way from of that situation. Yeah. So why should I worry about the next person when I should be worried about myself?
Exactly. And sometimes you go back to certain relationships and friendships, you're like, yeah, but that never should have happened. Because there are certain people who just, in their company, in their aura, they just dim your light. Or you find yourself, let me just adjust myself. You know, let me just, you know. When you, like, trust your gut. Like, if we're not vibing, we're not vibing. And it's not because you're a bad person, but it's unrealistic. Huguti, 100% is going to love you. So imagine, don't accommodate. And even if you have a good 5, that's enough. If you have a good 5, which you are blessed to get if it's 5. I mean, whenever I have birthday things, I'm just like, konje. Because another thing, if it's not vibey, I'll go mute. I go mute.
There'll be nothing to say.
I'm just like, and I'm awkward with small talk. So, because if you've worked so hard on yourself, you have no time to put on masks. So imagine if you're coming to me with a mask, I don't know what to do with that. Because as I said, I want raw and cut, no matter how that looks. Be you as you see fit, and if it aligns with me being me, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'll still be respectful, but you don't need to be my circle.
I'm excited, guys. I don't know about you. Seems like Durban Gen is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Before you leave,
sure.
Unfortunately, it's cut is 9.
Yeah.
But as always, but it's certainly not the last time. We're still going to do a full-on episode.
When you officially meet Thandekile.
Exactly. So, I mean, I normally give an opportunity for people to say whatever it is that comes from them, if we haven't touched on it within our conversation now, to the audience.
Yeah, comes from me.
Yeah.
Live your truth.
Okay, sorry. I disturbed
you. No. For me, it's as simple as live your truth. And your truth doesn't mean perfection, but you are the curator of your life. Simple as that. You are the curator of your life. And like, journey to yourself, however self looks. Journey to yourself, however it looks. And if it's messy, sit in the mess. If it's happy, sit in the happy. But don't fast forward any experience. Never do that disservice. Don't disservice the sadness, because it makes you enjoy the joy even better. But also don't overdo the joy, because it's going to feel weird to be sad. But sit in everything. Sit in everything and be present. Just be present with your time. If I'm allocating my time, I have to be present. Otherwise, I'll sit at home and nap.
Understand.
Yes.
We are born leaders. We are Babantu.
Yeah.
And we are open and honest. Thank you for joining us, Fanele.
It's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Ningalenzi Puta, catch it every Monday to Friday at 6:30 on ETV. On Etv Gen. Otherwise, Tinala on the GNPS, Siyabonga. Thanks for tuning in. Returning subscribers, thank you. New subscribers, do the right thing here in the corner. Shout out to my homies behind the camera, Tiny and UQ. You know what it is. Follow us on Instagram at GNPS_podcast. Follow me at General_Engineer everywhere. Follow my homie Tiny. Also, if you need him to shoot your video, he's available. At TinyFilms_. Q. Q, say your handle again.
Ow.
Q_____. Bangal.
Really?
See, maningi, dog. I told you, make it shorter. Q_productions. Nah, one's the same thing. If you want to get a piece of this quality, call them or DM them, whatever. Catch us next time. Peace.
Bye.